have 19 or 21 left.
Good. Someone you all are giving good news that you got something. Some marks.
I actually gave an
And in October you will get.
October I will get that you got good marks. When will
After
I get
Diwali.
exam?
After Diwali.
That's all.
Diwali?
After
Diwali
this
ke
course is
pehle.
over, you know, I'm not meeting you.
I mean November you will get to know.
Yes.
now you'll get to know it straight in February or
That's
March. Or
That's all.
whenever the result comes.
And if you are coming merit.
And we have exam on 18th.
And there are 2 lectures or 1 lecture today?
Two.
Why you come?
Don't come. I tell Hina ma'am to change, send you back home now. First of all, you will act as if you're doing me or your favor.
Now what is EOEFN?
Please fill file the full form. You should know what it is.
My password show.
Enough? So
All
much.
study
And I also remove double
Verification
citation.
now.
Yeah.
I shall do that. Wait.
Yeah. And then we will study.
Yeah, beta. Hey, people. Why is it having a problem? No, you stay out, Bolina.
Don't matter.
No. No.
Yes.
Stay out. Every time I can't. Every time I can't keep on telling you to come in again. We were doing what we were doing. We were doing first slide of
Sermon and Random.
sermon and Uttarakhand, right? No, Bagme. Every time we're late because every time I can't.
Every time,
90% of the time.
No, not 90.
That's what. Stay hand out only. We didn't complete sermon of Banaras.
I'm finished.
Are we finished?
Last class. Yes, ma'am, we finished last class.
क्या हो रहा है?
और वो मस्टर्ड सीड के लिए वो
I'm finished this.
Bagme, you want to be thrown out? No. No.
कौन से वाले में?
Sorry, man.
No.
Sorry.
They want longer to do.
And from now I will not.
No. We are from now you will not do. You will not be able to come only what you will.
No, I will. I'll be
क्या?
बन जाएगा. I'm very precious to my parents.
आगे
Ma'am, please take me.
No.
आगे
Look at how sincerely he is apologizing.
Yeah, no. And I sincerely don't want his apology.
Sorry.
No. There's no sorry business. Every time you say sorry and you enter. Every time you say sorry and you enter.
But you are browsing as a guest.
I know. And I prefer bug browsing as a guest.
And I am very sorry.
देखो हुआ.
हैं? सच में? अंदर में फंस रहा हूँ. तो कैसे ऐसे कैसे हो गया?
4-15 को नीचे भाग गया.
दवाई है दवा.
Come in.
ये अस्थमा हो गया.
Asthma है.
Acha. Suddenly out of the blue you develop asthma.
Yes, ma'am. Suddenly होता है वो अस्थमा.
You get an asthma attack suddenly. You don't develop asthma suddenly.
I developed it.
I developed it. Alright. What does boli means in Hindi? Oi! What does boli means in Hindi?
Holy means
Holy
very
means-
sincere child.
Holy means.
A sincere girl.
Which book?
Simple and sincere.
An innocent child.
Yes.
That's.
So look at this one. Look at the face.
Is this a grow up story?
Grown up.
Grow up, grow up.
Blow up story. What do you
Upgrade
mean?
everything turns into a beautiful content.
Hopefully not.
Koala.
Okay. So you may have heard about.
No,
Okay,
no,
Us. I have
No, no,
heard
no.
of us.
So you can read. If you have not heard, you can read. Let's increase your knowledge.
Died on 1st June 1987, age 72, in Maharashtra, India.
What was he?
Film director, screenwriter, novelist, journalist, columnist. What is a columnist?
Columnist.
Yes, ma'am, what is that?
You
Newspaper
write in
column
the
and
newspapers, yeah.
Yes, actor.
Protagonist.
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 That's what I was going to ask. What do you mean by protagonist?
The main character.
The main character. Always the protagonist of the story is the main character of your story. What was the protagonist of Sermon and Barabbas? Gautam Buddha. What was this one of the necklace? Protagonist of the necklace. Who was the protagonist? Madam Rosal. Understood? The main character. Always the main character. And who's the antagonist?
The second character.
Side character.
The villain. Antagonist is always the villain.
His
Understood?
father.
Okay. So, what happens when you are talking about neglected at home? So, what happens? What are the outcomes if she's neglected at home? If you are neglected, if you have heard, you have read stories, you have heard stories. If a child is neglected at home, how do you think the child turns out to be?
Sad.
Okay,
Yes.
sad. What else?
Depressed.
Depressed. What else?
Lonely.
Lonely. Good. What else?
Full of tension.
Anxiety.
Anxiety.
Tense.
Tense. Okay.
The-
So, Boli means a simpleton, a very simple girl who's very innocent. Okay. So, it is talking about her. Her actual name was Sulekha. You know that they have kept a pet name at school. And she was a fourth daughter of Numbedar Ramla. That is the father. Alright, his name. And she fell out of her cot when she was 10 months old and probably a part of her brain was damaged.
Wow.
You have brain injury. No children's why do children are kept in a crib? Or why do children, whenever you see, especially the babies, they put pillows around it or they keep some kind of boundary around the child so that the child doesn't fall. Because at that time your skull is very, very soft. Your brain is your body is developing. So any kind of injury can be a major injury for a child.
Yeah, but when I was small, my mother was sharing that you were falling.
You were falling.
That's why your brains are not working.
You were falling
You were falling
twice or thrice a day.
twice or thrice a day.
When you're learning to walk, definitely you're going to fall. But I'm talking on a newborn baby or a 10-year-old child who's not learned to walk.
Who just crawls.
The child who just crawls and he keeps on banging or she keeps on banging against the door. Understood? So, a part of her brain or ability at that time of her birth, her face and body were disfigured by the age of 2 by an attack of smallpox. Smallpox is like chicken pox. It disfigures as in you have spots on your faces and you shouldn't scratch it because you scratch it leaves back marks. Okay, and because of that it got disfigured. If disfigured, you know what does disfigured means?
Disfigured must figure change. Yes.
Like
Not the figure change.
Sugar power.
Ma'am, like this.
No, smallpox doesn't change
No,
your
no,
features.
ma'am, like the.
No,
Permanent damage to your face.
your skin becomes disfigured. There are marks on your skin. Here disfigured means that because we are talking about smallpox.
My skull became disfigured.
Yeah. Her eyes were saved, a late speaker, she could not see clearly, and so children made fun of her. These are special kids. These are known as special kids, and the children are always making fun of what they don't understand and what they don't know. And especially these children should be taken, you have to look after these kids instead of being brutal to those kids. So that is what.
Ma'am, not just actually just small children, even 8th graders and 10th graders,
Yes.
which mainly boys.
Can't be gender wise.
Ma'am, but no,
क्या
it is
बोल रही है?
true.
क्या
Yeah.
बोली क्या बोली?
अरे हमारे क्लास में 8th स्टैंडर्ड में एक लड़का था, वो स्पेशल चाइल्ड था, तो फिर लड़के उसका मजाक उड़ा,
लड़की हो।
लड़के
अरे हमारे लड़का हम लोग के स्कूल में एक है, उसको तो इतना केयर करते हैं, वो बच्चे लोग भी सब करते हैं।
कौन? I'm saying
अरे एक है ना हमारे क्लास में एक यूनिवर्सिटी में है नीचे लड़ा लड़की है।
No, see, you can treat them like normal kids, but you cannot bully them or keep no names for them, or keep mistreating them.
Ma'am, I wasn't being gender biased, I'm just telling you what happened.
There has been, but I can tell you there are various cases like that where girls have been very cruel. I have seen a lot of cases. It's not that you all are talking about this. I have been seen cases where it's sometimes the girls who are very.
Convent school girls are very cruel.
Not only convent school, there are various schools. Your school also there were incidences where they were cruel. So seeing that,
I know, I have heard.
and so first of all, she's at home, she's neglected, and in school she is teased by all.
Bullied.
Yeah, she's been absolutely bullied by all. So you find that no one cared about bullying. She was never given new clothes to wear, and as a child, when it's your birthday or when you're talking about Diwali, this one celebration, you always get new clothes, right? But she never ever got new clothes, and her hair was never oiled or combed. So how that kind of going to school where your hair is not your hair is out of place, and she always had a shabby appearance and hardly spoke because nobody wanted to be a friend of her and nobody gave her the time of day. Boli was the weakest child while her brothers and sisters were healthy. Her sisters who were good looking were married off and her brothers were sent to cities to study. So everybody was placed but except for her. Okay, nobody cared for her. When a primary school was opened in their village, Boli's father, who was a revenue officer, sent her to school on the tehsildar. Revenue officer is the one who works in financial department. So he insisted that tehsildar, the tehsildar of that particular village, he insisted that you have to send her to school. Okay, he insisted. And Ramlal could not refuse the tehsildar, so his wife agreed to send Boli to school. She thought it was a good idea, and there was little chance of her getting married.
What a tehsildar.
I'm such.
He is a government officer. He works for for the village.
Like an IAS.
Like the collector. Okay, tehsildar is that. He has a different job profile, but like the collector who looks after the district and all that.
I feel so bad.
Sorry.
Very bad.
Yeah. So now what happens? Dressed in new clothes, she was sent to school. Happy to see other girls there. She hoped that one of them would become her friend. So she never gave up hope, wishing to somebody. Then the teacher asked her her name, but Boli was too scared to answer because she never exposed. Nobody, paid attention to her. Suddenly she was the center of attention, so she got tongue-tied. She was very shy. The teacher smilingly encouraged her to speak. So the teacher didn't put her down. She encouraged her. She also asked Boli to come to the school daily and gave her a book with many colorful pictures in it. So how a child now she is she's got brain damage. So she gave a colorful picture and when the children are young, colorful pictures are the first thing which when you go to kindergarten and all that, the book what you receive are very colorful. Will have big pictures. Will have colorful.
We wouldn't read books without.
Yes. She also told Boli that she would soon be able to read it and everyone would treat her with respect. Boli was filled with hope. It was something she gave Boli something to look forward to. Because nobody treated her well. So that's what when the teacher says, read the book and one day everybody will respect you. So she was very, very hopeful. No ordinary teacher real mentor. As the village progressed, the primary school became a high school. Bori's life. When Bori was a manageable age, her father fixed a match with a person called Shankar as he had a big shop house and a large bank balance. Nearly 50-year-old, he also walked with a limp. Now, as I said, the father was never understanding. He didn't care of the child, so she decided, like when she's manageable age, that he get her married to a 50-year-old boy. And that is the story of India, if you see, right? Because they have a big bank balance and they have the house and all that, they could get young girls married to very old people. That was the story previously. In rural India, definitely. But if you see, this kind of story is very common. Not only that, he was a widower and had grown up children. So, first of all, he was 50 years old. But he lost already his wife. His wife had passed away. That's why he's a widower. So, those who doesn't, who's wife or husband passed away, they are known as a widow. The woman is known as a widow and the man is known as a widower. Okay, and had grown up children. So this is like life has been very cruel to her, and the father is adding to the cruelty. All right.
Why did they arrange?
Because Boli was a simple Indian, right? So he was thought like, what will I do to the child? And might well get her married and get her off my hand. That kind of father. That is what people wanted to get rid of, parents wanted to get rid of her. Boli was not consulted when this marriage was fixed. The day of her marriage in December arrived with a big buyer. He was pleased with the arrangement, but when Boli's silken veil accidentally slipped from her face, he was shocked to see her pock face mark. If there was holes on her face. That's why it was a smallpox, no? Remember chicken pox, what you get? We have all over scales in your
acne marks, we also get.
Yeah, acne also like that. So in that there were a lot of holes and there were a lot of stains on her, and he was shocked to see her face.
I had those stains, but thanks to modern medicine, we are now.
But that is a thing, that is thanks to modern medicine. So seeing that, he started demanding dowry. And he refused to garland her and said that the marriage would not go through only if 5,000 rupees were given to him. Now this is old India we are talking about. Okay, dowry system was predominant in the old era, right?
It still is now.
Yeah, so 5,000 rupees at that particular time, it is equivalent to 5 lakh rupees. Got it? At those days we are talking. So that Rama went and placed his turban in his honor at December. So he was not earning that much. So he took out that turban, and that is when you take out, it's like a disrespect, right? Turban is supposed to be a symbol of honor, correct? So he took out the turban and he kept it on his feet, begging him not to humiliate him and take 2,000 rupees. So he said, I don't have 5,000, you take 2,000 rupees. And this December refused to go ahead with the wedding until he was doing 5,000 rupees. He even threatened that he would call off the marriage. No. He even threatened that he would call off the marriage. So he said, no, I will not get married and I will take my barat. No. I take my barat back. Okay, that way. And then Ramlal brought that money. He arranged, it's like when a father is forced.
Please.
No. One minute, go and throw you out of the class.
Please.
No.
मारती है स्कूल में मैम कुछ तो करो
तो shame on you getting hit by her.
अरे मैम तो मैं मारूंगा तो फिर मैम मुझे मारेंगे
So that is what man raised
और
your
आज
hands on.
सुबह सुबह प्रिंसिपल मैम का खाया वो इधर मत
Very good. Open. No. No.
नहीं बोल रही है ना मैम तो जबरदस्ती
How late are you?
यस मैम मैं भी इतना लेट नहीं आता मैं पहले 30 से पहले आता हूं
है ना? So stay now the whole class. So you stay and after the one class get it. Go again after one class. Alright? Right? I said no entering to enter class.
I'm saying what outside.
That's very hot outside. When December was about to garland her, Boli did the unexpected
उसको
thing.
इतने जल्दी ये इतना 40 मिनट लेट आने के बाद
How many times she arrived late?
मैम
How many times she arrived late?
3-4 बार
And how many times you arrived late?
2
And you come to know. Alright. So like literally she took out the garlic and she threw it in the fire.
रोटी का
Right?
इस्तेमाल हो जाएगा पानी में फेर दी
She very cleverly told her father that she was not married that man who was not only just was very old and late but also mean and greedy person. She took a vow to never get married. So she stood up for herself. She knew that what this person is doing, December was doing to her father was being disrespectful. So he said, first of all, he's old. He has a limp. Limp means he's walking, like walks.
like a old man
Not a like old man, like a crippled person. And then he said he's greedy on top of it, and he's a mean. When the father said, you take 2,000, I have only 2,000, he says, no, you give me 5,000. So he said, I'm not going to get married to this person. She took a vow, she took a promise, vow is promise, never to get married. She decided she would become a teacher and serve her parents in their old age. So, this is the theme of the story. It's like, you cannot underestimate a person, and even when a person, see, everybody left their parents and the but she is the one who decided to take care of her parents instead of getting married. There are very rare people who would do that. Everybody is in this world is very selfish and would leave everything and they will go ahead with their career and everything, forget about who had made them capable of earning that money. I don't know. I didn't say anything. So it's the impact of family and children. Why? Because she was neglected. Nobody paid attention to her. So how family matters. If you should be thankful your parents take care of you, give you that attention, give you that love. She never received it. So how a family can impact a child's life. Second, Molly is a little girl who fails to develop self-confidence because of her parents' attitude towards her. A child needs love and nurture.
We can continue now.
You can please keep the bag down. I didn't ask you to open the text. Close that book. So, like they failed to develop this kind of self-confidence to stand up for herself and all that. The teacher was the one who helped her gain that self-confidence in a sense. The story is that while family supported emotional security is essential for a proper child development. You are you because of your parents' love and support. Otherwise, you won't be you. If your parents, if you're not secure in your parents' love, you will never be like what kind of people you are. Always remember that love and security is the one which gives you confidence in yourself and to face the world. When you don't get it from your family, you will become the most timid person and the most docile person in the world. Because you are afraid of everything, because you know that nobody is there to support you.
You wouldn't be able to stand up.
You will never be able to stand up for yourself. That's a good one. And that is what he's talking about. How much you should appreciate what you're getting. Because this child has always been neglected and they never gave her what she deserves. Also, disfigured and disabled children must be given encouragement, love, and education like normal counterparts. People say she's so dumb. Why don't she go to the school of the special aided? There are schools for that. You know that there are differently able people. There are schools for that. So why do they need to go there? Because they are independent enough to to pick up skills. Though they are slower than you, but they do pick up. It's not that we cannot treat them differently, and you have to treat them equally. And you have to be understanding, you have to show that sympathy and empathy towards them. You can't be cruel to them. Education is very important as it instills confidence in a person. It makes him independent and aware of your rights. When people fought for education, especially for girls' education, the reason was that because education is one which opens wide doors and makes you think broadly. You cannot think narrowly. You cannot go according to the perception of the society. Education gives you that. Education makes you aware that what is right, what is wrong. It makes you aware, like, yes, I can do this in case my rights are curbed. So this is what I can do. I can stand up.
Ma'am, Boli's real name is Sulekha.
Yes. After you think, after that whole thing, now you are thinking.
No, I was just reading that.
Yeah. It helps people to take their own decision and realize their worth or uniqueness. Definitely, it will tell you like what is your worth. You know, once you get the graduation, you demand a certain salary because you know that I'm capable of getting that salary. I know that I can give the company what I can give the company what I like. You know, I can have a special skill sets which I can give the company. So I am confident in my skill sets. I am confident in what I can give the company. So I can put my demands in it. Don't be unreasonable in demands, otherwise they'll kick you out. First of all.
When my father was working, his boss was actually very okay. His boss is my very close friend's partner, and I won't mention that. And he treated him poorly. I actually treated everyone poorly. Then he changed my dad's whole profile. So my dad was very sad, upset, angry, and he talked to my mother about leaving the company, and she supported him. They were thinking about leaving the company, but my brother was also a special child, so
Okay.
so they were a bit hesitant. And then that.
But then see, tragedy happens better, but as I said, like he got the support from his wife, right? Your mother supported him. And that's why I say family support is very, very important. Only then they take the correct decision.
And that's why I was strict.
Yeah, that's what I said. Then they only they take the correct decision. But if your family doesn't support you, then that becomes a major problem because the child is, or you never know what you're worth. Alright, and the second thing, as I said, education is also very important because you come to know what you're good at and what you can give to the world. Understood? You come to know yourself and you have this confidence, and you have the confidence, and the company realizes that yes, you can use that much. Then they offer you that scale what you demand. Okay. Role of a teacher and education in Boli's life. It is quite true. Education plays a pivotal role. Pivotal, important. Let them also answer. These basic like dumb dolls.
Main.
You go to sleep, I'll throw you out. I'm telling you.
I forgot that was class. I was awake.
I suffer because of you. Understood? So let's suffer together. I am not the only one should suffer. Pivotal role in Boli's life.
चलो
It
मिलके
is quite
जाते
true,
हैं.
education played a pivotal role in Boli's transformation. Going to the school and meeting with her teacher was indeed a turning point in her life. The teacher proved to be Messiah or Savior for her.
Messiah.
Messiah.
In Hindi it is Messiah. Messiah.
Messiah or Savior for her. The teacher treated her kindly, caringly, and affectionately.
Why she was called a savior?
Because she
treated her differently
Yes, ma'am.
and equally.
Correct. That is what was more important. Because neither her family supported her, neither her friends. She hoped to make friends. Children of her age group didn't support her. The only person who supported her and gave her like
Teacher.
a sense of
Equalness.
can I complete?
Yes.
Yes.
A sense of self, that means who gave her self-confidence was the teacher. Because she said that you will make friends at the end of the year once you finish the book, and she really helped. Boli could stand up for herself was all because of one person believed in her.
The teacher. She made her believe in herself by encouraging her to utter her own name perfectly. After pronouncing her name without stammering, filled her with a sense of achievement. She felt she could do it. Her teachers pat motivated and inspired her further. She instilled in holy self-conviction when she told her in the future she would do wonders. That is a mean
Yeah, it is actually it's done. We have a tendency, and actually adults are sometimes, I'm not talking of parents, but adults are sometimes, certain words of adults do hurt children. There is nothing like that. If you get a good teacher, she can do wonders with you. If you get a teacher who doesn't who scolds you most of the time, who shouts at you, and you know sometimes he targets you or
मैम
embarrass you.
जब करते हैं तब उल्टा बोलने का मैम फिर ऐसे वो शांत
What did he say?
That if someone targets you, you know, reply. You know, stand up for yourself. So that one could have been
पूजा में
Pooja Miss Bapre, ma'am, she's very bad.
Sonia
And that she's just shouting like these 14-year-old kids are so lazy, this, that. And she herself is so overweight. And then she's like, at your age, she doesn't teach us everything but teach. She's like, you all just are always on your phones. This last year we had almost one chapter incomplete because of her. And you know what she says? You are going to teach a 10th grade. I suggest you start studying by yourself. I don't think you need my guidance. Pooja Miss.
Every time she gets bored class, she always beats me. Always. Then
But don't you give her now? Let's see the other way of it. Don't you give her things to be scolded at?
No,
Oh,
ma'am.
ma'am.
She just walks in and then she looks at everyone's posture that everyone is talking and
Yes,
from there starts shouting.
So isn't it disrespectful?
पढ़ाने से
Ma'am, she came in the class and ma'am, I was stretching like this, ma'am.
I also stop, you know. I also tell you, don't do this. It's a wrong habit.
No, ma'am, she's not in the class. Okay, the class is no one's in the class. So everyone has a tendency to talk. She walks in like this and she just stands there. And then the class is going to say, when I was out of the class, why went to study this? That's all.
Beta, no, but whatever it is, sometimes you need to understand. Sometimes, see, it's very easy to point fingers at others. Now, remember the one thing, you point fingers, but your hand is attached to yourself. Point fingers, but your hand is attached to your shoulder.
But my hand should come.
But like that, but your hand is still attached to your shoulder.
It's easy
And it is human tendency to do it. It's not that it is not there. It is human tendency to do it. But as I said, if you see to the negative, if you always see to the negative, you will always remember the negative. You need to understand you also at times are at fault. It's not only the teachers. Sometimes you yourself also are at fault. And tell me one thing. It is what whenever she tells you certain things, is it not correct? Think about it. Think about it. She's not telling you that you should have studied because it's your 10 isn't something that's nobody is not asking 24/7. But what she meant is you could have utilized your time a little more properly. Correct? As soon as the teachers are out, what do? You sit and yell, talk, chit chat, and all that. That is the common child, this one. But the thing is what, as soon as that happens, when we enter the class, the first thing is that why she has to wait for you all to be quiet. Understood? That is the reason, and that is what is very insulting. You have to be the one who should be responsible. That's what she means. That's why I say don't point fingers. See, everybody has their plus and minuses. Always remember that. Even I have my plus and minuses. You have your plus and minuses. Nobody is without negative. Like everybody is not holy than. Okay, everybody is not same. Yeah. So everybody is not. But there are certain times you should always look at what she's trying to say rather than always pointing and she's always scolding. There are reasons for that.
Now, maybe she's going to something at home.
See, I'm not defending her, but I'm saying instead of looking at the negative, try to look to the positive side. Because the more you think about the negative, the more that like bad taste is left in your mouth.
Now we found out she's pregnant.
My father is
Whatever it is.
No.
See, whatever it is. But as I said, you always, it's not saying something wrong.
Yeah.
Alright.
Standards in SE.
Right. So, Bolu had never heard such insult, and see how insulting you're sounding here.
Exactly.
How insulting you're and how demeaning you're sounding. You know that.
Yes.
So anybody who's plump is supposed to be pregnant, and anybody is. I'm not saying that she may not.
She told she's 6 or 7.
It's okay, but you see, saying no 8 standard, she looks like pregnant lady. That is so biased. And she is body shaming. Do you know that?
No, ma'am, he's telling that from 8th standard.
Yes, ma'am.
When we are in 8th, from then
First of all, 8th में हम school में थी.
He 9th standard.
So anybody who's fat is supposed to be pregnant.
No, I did not see that.
And then you meant like that, no?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
I'm not sorry. If I'm trying to make you understand your own words. For me saying sorry, what does it matter? Not insulting me. But I'm saying, have you ever heard what you're saying? You sound so biased. And you all are, when you're educated, you're not supposed to be narrow-minded. Ways above that. And you all are children who are very intelligent children. Somewhere or the other, I think that is the only thing. If you learn, think before you speak. Sometimes it is very wrong. It sounds very, very wrong to the other person. Okay. Coming to this, Goli had never heard of such encouraging word from anyone, not even her own mother and father. So this brought about a change in her. Having self-belief in her, she mastered most of her deficiencies. Whatever they
Mom
do,
used to call her cow.
yes.
Now sometimes people can say very useful words even when they don't know. Right?
Yes.
There's a girl in my class, she was a special child. I mean, like her twin sister is they're both dwarfs, and that girl is a special child. So she even has this big good face and everything. So there are few guys in my class, and they always, even today, they were saying to her, she got confused her, and they hit her with a football, because she couldn't do anything. So then she ran to tell the supervisor, but then I stopped her because that time there were like observers, and if they see a student outside, and there was no teacher in our class. But then afterwards, she told the observer, and after ma'am left, that boy told the special child, "Ki ab tum log kisi aur kam karo."
And you all are not protecting her.
We can't do anything. Nobody. That boy has been suspended twice, and he hits her with the ball. Everyone shouts at him.
Why
No
did
one
you
likes her.
support her and you all gather together to defend her? Do you think that boy will have the
But
guts?
the boys never talk to her. They don't even talk to her. The girls are chat to her, but then तूने देखा ना आज वो क्या कर रहे हैं second period में Ayan Sheikh and then
Why
even
does
the
Ayan
girls
Sheikh sound very, very familiar?
so
My friend.
so even if we take her side we do take her side at most of the times but that boy has like a very big friend group of 7-8 people and they all come and bully her especially when
But I am saying that
सब बॉल से मारा है उसे
Ayan ने ये हंसने ने किया है.
सब बॉल से मारा है मेरे सामने मारा है
but if you see injustice happening, excuse me, can I kind of get to a point? If you're seeing injustice happening and you're tolerating that injustice, isn't that wrong? Isn't that wrong? So you know somebody is going to murder somebody and you'll just stand aside and let the person get murdered. That's what you're saying.
The thing we don't tell ma'am or we tell other teachers before he got
Why do you need to tell other teachers when you as children who
I mean verbally says stuff to her, what can we do?
verbally says stuff to her, but when you can't be protective towards her, when you know that this child is a special child and she needs help,
Ma'am, then they will know.
mock her no. If you have similar kind of mindset, now you all of these are in your class.
No, only this man.
In his class, his friend, your friends can gather together and support this child.
No, the thing is he verbally insists. So ask him, where आप कितना डांटते हो जब वो वही तक पहले start करता है.
You can bully these kids. You can't bully Ayan. Now that's the height.
I do bully him.
See, Dipanshu.
Ma'am, yesterday he made a suicide kid.
Pick it and throw it in the dustbin. How can you be so dirty?
Ma'am, मुझे आराम लड़का है ना.
So why did you eat chewing gum here? And taste everything. You did. You put it.
हम थोड़ा सा काट सकते हो. कोई आस्था हो जो आया है ना देखा.
Look at you.
वो जो आया है ना उसने कोई ट्वेल्थ स्टैंडर्ड के बच्चे को मारा.
And you still tolerate that child.
मैं उसको ना बहुत मारता हूँ मैं. फिर बोलते हैं कि
But you need to understand when you are going to be the future generation. If you can't control a single child, how will you control the world?
मैं इससे पूछो मेरा उससे कितना लड़ाई होता है.
Ma'am, you can't stop him. He's crazy.
Beta, that is just a miniature world. There are people like that in the world. If you can't stop a small child and who will injustice, what do you think you're going to run the world?
Ma'am,
When you vote, you're going to vote for exactly the same people where you are just tolerating.
But there are also
And
other
these kind of
classes.
bullies are all there in the whole world. There's not only one single bully.
Ma'am, even we can come
And there are the other classes, boys. Ayan won't doesn't really hurt for that much, but that means Ayan is still respectful.
मैम
But then
मैं और मेरे दोस्त उसको बहुत समझाते हैं.
English.
And we beat him. We make
There's
him
no,
understand.
nobody asked you to beat him, neither is this one.
Or else he will not understand, ma'am.
Yeah, you think physical violence is going to make him understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I doubt as much.
Yes, yes.
Because it never worked.
What else if we talk to her sister?
another worst thing is that the special child also targets Ayan a lot. Is that if anyone else is like she's always like Ayan did it, so then for some reason Ayan gets angry and then Ayan starts saying back.
Because she must be doing something to her. That's why. And because she's always being penalized because of him.
No, like if someone else hits someone else, like if last is Devanshi, she's like Ayan tune so kiya. So then because of that Ayan gets a lot of shouting.
So it is a defensive reflex. No. Then
So what can we do?
what can you do is basically if somebody is doing injustice to somebody, you need to stand up for it, as simple as that.
वो पुराने greenhouse ना जो 90
You laughingly are saying this,
अरे
you all
इसको
have
पकड़ा
not
था,
understood the
forest
repercussions of that. Have you thought about the
मैंने
mental and
नहीं
emotional
आयन से
repercussions
तो
of
जानता
this?
हूँ मैं उसको नहीं जानता
सस्पेंड हुआ था ना.
After the something
कौन?
मैम आयन से
I was
was
suspended नहीं हुआ.
doing this
हुआ था.
No, no, ma'am, he was not doing anything.
he
like
got
this.
suspended for
Yes,
activity
क्या करना था स्कूल?
Smoke कर रहा था.
No, no, ma'am, he didn't smoke. His friend was smoking, but his name also came.
There are being born. If he is keeping those kind of companies, do you think he may have not tried it?
वही तो कुछ भी
बहुत कुछ
You are defending him
मुझे
a lot.
कुछ नहीं पता है. गुफरान ने मुझे क्या क्या बोला उसके बारे में. Literally, that's why you know our passage says don't approach him, stay away from him. Because the more you try to talk to him, the worse. He's very disgusting. बहुत गंदी हरकतें की है उसने.
But he may have been having certain issues, maybe from the family front.
Now it's his friends. I mean, how
Or
smart he
yes,
is.
I was coming to that. Can you please let me complete?
Peer pressure is the most at times.
It may be the friend circle or from the family side which is picked up and he's feeling rejected in some way or the other.
And he's able to do this because his father doesn't stay here and his mother is in Rajasthan.
See,
हैं?
हाँ, उसका fashion designer.
वही नहीं, parlor है उसमें का.
whatever it is, that is what when the parents are not paying attention to the child, that is a way of acting out. This is called acting out. As I said, if he keeps on acting out, ultimately it will lead down a very bad way. So coming to the point where is basically his first thing first is if the child is getting bullied, you have to stand up for the child. Now coming back to the chapter, let's do bully because half my class is got only discussing Ayan.
You know,
आयन को एक में लाता हूँ इधर
Read. You read Rituraj.
Her name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Puri.
मैं आयन से भी
The
लाता
secret one. She was the fourth daughter of Nambadar Ramlal. When she was 10 months old, she had fallen off the cot on her head and perhaps it had damaged some part of her body. That was why she remained as a backward child and came to be known
what's
as
the
Puri.
word? I didn't read God.
And
Red.
the child was very fair and pretty, but when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox. Only the eyes were safe, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by the deep black poke marks. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was
5.
till she was 5, and when at the last she learned to speak, she stammered. The other children made fun of her and mimicked her. As a result, she talked very little. Ramlal had 7 children.
Wait. So, the original, her real name is?
Sulekha.
Wow, what was the problem with her?
That when she was 7, she had fallen on the cot of her bed, and at the age of 2, she had
Attack of smallpox,
smallpox.
which left tapped a hole on his whole
Black
body
box,
and his
black
picture.
box.
Spots. pock marks are black spots all over the body. And what happened? It's not the skin; it's the skin which has marks on it. Understood? Not disfigured as it had the whole body had marks on it. How chickenpox leaves those marks, especially when kids, they scratch. It's a very itchy thing. It scratches and now you get vaccine for it. But imagine when you get chickenpox, your whole body, and in case you scratch it, the marks remains permanently. Now it is a modern system where you have this no mark cream or something like that which reduces your marks. But imagine in those days there was no. Yes, so it is a painful thing, and it left her whole body. Her whole body had marks over it. So that's why it looks very disfigured. Now,
asthma, cancer.
she could not speak. Some children, they speak very very late. Now the reason is sometimes it happens that there's nobody to talk to. When you learn to talk is basically because you have repetitive sounds. A baby learns to talk is because the mother keeps on repeating ma, mummy,
My
papa.
mother used to talk to me when I was
Understood that way. But here the parents are not talking to her. So the child learned to speak. Normally a 1-year-old child learns to speak small words, right? Make sound words. But she was a late developer. Okay, she was a late developer. Till 5 years she learned to speak at 5 years, but that also she would stammer. Chokla ke bolte, that is Hindi word. That is what is stammering. She can't speak clearly.
Totally different.
Stammering is
Totally the one who thought that. Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Stammer क्या होता है जो बोलते ना
हकला के बोलते हकला के आई थिंक हिंदी
रुक के मैं ऐसे बात करता हूँ
when you're nervous, you start.
अटक के
Stop when you're nervous.
क्या बहुत गंदा
anyway. So she stammered. The other now, as I said, the world is very cruel. First, neither her parents are supporting her, and when she's her age group children, they make fun of her. They mimic her. You know what is mimic her? They copy her action. They copy her action. Yes. So they keep on teasing her by copying her actions. The way she speaks, the way she walks, or maybe the way she looks, that. And as I said, children are very cruel. They don't think that, what the actions are is affecting a child emotionally. And he or she gets traumatized. You need to understand that. You wouldn't like to be in that child's shoes. Anytime you feel like mocking anybody, please put yourself in the child's shoe. Because as I said, when we talk about Ayan Sheikh, also he is a very disturbed child because if you think the reason, his parents are not giving him that attention what he wants. And that is the way of his acting out. Where parents keep on correcting you because they know that they care for you and they tell you that this is the correct thing, this is the wrong thing. But when a parent doesn't correct you, you feel very neglected and you feel like you don't care and you will do things in order to draw attention to you because you're attention seeking at that particular time. So all these what you have told me is just attention seeking tactics because he is forcing somebody to react because he is not getting any kind of attention at home. You need to understand that. And he's taking out that aggression, that kind of anger on somebody else. Your emotion has to have an output, understood. You need to let it out. But how will you let it out? You at times are understanding you will let it out positively. Because why? You have the support in the family. You know that there is, what is right and wrong. Because your parents are there to tell you this is right, this is wrong. And they will, even if they beat you at that particular time, because you automatically understand that no, this is something which is wrong. But if a child is doing certain things and the parents are not reacting, what do you think the child is going to do? He will do the worst to worst scenario to make his parents or her parents react. So you need to understand that difference.
Being a helicopter pilot is not.
What is a helicopter?
A helicopter who keeps on hovering over the child.
That's also bad because it doesn't have the child become independent.
Because then the child becomes insecure.
I'm very frustrated.
Coming to read, please read the next paragraph.
Ram Lal had
Ram had 7 children, 3 sons and 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. It was a prosperous farmer household and there was plenty to eat and drink. All the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. The son had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. Of the daughters, Radha, the eldest, had already been married. Second daughter, non-wife marriage, had also been settled, and when that was done, Ram and Bholi got their from Champa. They were all good-looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bad to them. But Ram was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence.
So somewhere he was concerned because he wanted the children to get married. He's already his elder daughter is married. The middle daughter, her marriage is settled. Her marriage is settled. What does it mean?
That means they've already found someone for
That they already found someone and already the marriage is fixed. Alright. The third one he was looking out for Champa. So these are the 3 girls' name, his daughter's name, and then. So he knew that because of their looks, people, not to say, but society is like that, they go for the looks.
especially in arranged marriage.
Arranged marriage is different.
Arranged marriage.
Girls also do it, boys also do it.
Yes.
Ma'am, mainly
Both
looks
do
and
it.
status.
No
Looks and
boys.
status and money and dowry.
Yeah, yes.
Only girls do.
Boys also do.
Yes.
Boys are the first one. Yeah. Girls also do it, boys also do it. And we
Girls
want
data.
No.
Girls
It's not a
do
gender
70%,
thing.
boys
It's
do
a
50%.
human thing.
But Ramla
was
was.
very
Sometimes when the words come out of your mouth, it shows that you are such a biased person.
bias means bias.
When you have opinions, wrong opinions about certain things.
Very bad.
अरे हसमत मैं बोली है ना
आप बोलिए
मैं
बोलिए
नहीं मैं पिछली बार बोली थी ना कि करेक्ट कर मेरे को हसमत 70% गर्ल्स करती 50% बॉयज करती
तो वो 100% कैसे हो सकता है 20% होगा ना
That's what I'm saying.
70-30 होगा
वही ना तो क्या चाहते हैं
70% गर्ल्स
120
जो है 70% ऐसे गर्ल्स होते हैं जो
See, yours basically look at this.
चुप रहा है तो क्या
The picture speaks volumes.
होली
ओ आशु से
Annabelle
तूने आपके वर्ड्स प्रूव कर दिए.
Can you continue?
मैंने उसी पहले देखा ना
Holy was 7 years old when Mangala was married. The same year, a primary school for girls was opened in their village. The Tehsildar Sahib came to perform its opening. And what is Tehsildar?
जो
Basically, who looks after the district. Tehsil is a district. Like the collector I told you, no, basically
tax collector
not the tax collector.
Yes. Came to perform its opening.
yes
Ma'am, similar to
Read.
He said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village, and so you must set an example to the villagers. You must send your daughters to school. That night when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, "Are you crazy? If girls go to school, who will marry them?" But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. At last his wife said, I will tell you what to do. Send Boli to school, as there is little chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers of school
So
worry
that
about her."
was a thing. The girls they got married, they were not educated. They were
Yes.
just tied up to whichever group came
They were
and
just
decided.
pretty.
Yes. So the Tehsildar came and he said when he was opening ceremonies, inauguration. Okay, opening ceremony inauguration. And he says, as a revenue official, you are a representative of the government in the village, and you must set an example in the village. In the village, girls were not educated. So he said, why don't you set an example? So we are talking about a patriarchal society where girls' education was not taken care of. Okay. That night, Ramla consulted his wife. She cried, "Are you crazy?" Now, wife was not educated. Girls to be educated. What was that? This one of girls sitting in the house cooking, learning cooking, learning sewing, learning everything, and just being looking after the house, no studying. So if I will going to marry, who will marry them? So you don't want educated girls, they have to look after the house. That kind of perception, as I said, that.
You know the vibes like that. That's
Yes,
so shocking.
no, it is not shocking because she's brought up with that philosophy. How can it be shocking? Till you don't start rebelling and stand up for your rights, till you don't know what is your rights, if your grandmother telling your mother that you have to look after your family, you have to take care, do you think that the person is going to think beyond that? That is not this, your generation to generation have been brought up like that.
And more well in the 20th.
But even in the 21st century, when they open their mouth, sometimes they sound of the biased society.
Yes, I'm at school happens.
Especially at school.
I'm very hello. पर नवरात्रि स्टार्ट आप भी hello पर नवरात्रि के लिए.